That was amazing. Not just amazing, but it was creepy, like in a good way though. It's tight how he like put everything in perspective about the word, and it kind of explained it. So back into our class, he kind of implemented the same thing as far as explaining things to people who don't quite believe, but they're not even understand about some of the things that Jesus did. So when you put that back into perspective with the magician, it's like we see things that happen, but we're not quite sure how to understand. So it kind of makes it okay and comfortable. So after kind of correlating all that together, it's like, oh, that's dope. You know, that's tight.
What did you get out of your classroom afterwards?
What didn't I get out of my class? Kind of a little bit more tools to help me defend the faith, but even to help understand it, even playing the devil's advocate, kind of understand like where I stand as far as defending it and what knowledge I need necessary to be able to articulate it properly to those who have further questions.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, what I got out of the apologetics boot camp, specifically the magician, was, you don't have to limit yourself to just one talent or one thing that you're good at. You can combine both of those, and myself, I'm very good at different things, and I never knew how to incorporate those things into one. And from today, I learned that, it may not fit perfectly, but, things can come together. Your talents can come together, It may not seem right to someone else. It may not seem okay. It may seem worldly to other people. But, with your relationship with God is what it all really depends on.
Great. And the final question is, what did you get out of your actual classroom that you decided?
Well, what I got from my actual classroom today was I really learned more about myself and about what I really believe. And I learned that what a person is as well. And I learned that there's a difference between being a person and being a human being. And, yeah.
What I got out of that, we also talked about in my college group that, we can kind of doubt, like, how does God do these things? We can't understand it, and we see it, and that makes us believe it. So, the illusionist, kind of helped us realize, or helped me realize, really, that, we could see these things, and that's how we believe it, but our pride gets in the way, and we kind of question and doubt how God does this, and really it just comes down to believing, just faith, and it's the most important thing I learned today. So
Great. Was there anything specific in your breakout classroom session that you learned?
Well, we did go on this lengthy discussion on if the element of like the soul and where does the soul originate from, and the difference between a person and a human being, and that God, the Holy Trinity, that there's three persons, and an average person thinks that the person is just a human being, but in reality it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a spirit, and God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, and God the Father. So
I really liked his testimony part of how he worked that into it, and I've heard it before, just how he had speech problems and his hands, how that is literally how God is using him today. That's really, really awesome, because to be honest, everyone has insecurities, especially as young people, and he got saved when he was 17, and that's such a crucial time in our life when we're that age, like 16 to early 20s, where we're kind of figuring stuff out, and just he had these insecurities, and our God is so awesome, and he took them, and now he's using those things that he was insecure about for his ultimate glory. And that's what it's about, is giving God so much glory, and he really did that. He was awesome and hilarious, so I really enjoyed it too.
That was awesome. I have one more question and you're done. That was amazing.
Oh.
Esther, I don't know her name, the girl that you're talking to.
Rachel.
Okay, I saw you in Rachel's class and you were engaging her afterwards. What kind of things did you get out of that class, and what kind of things did it bring up?
I wasn't in Rachel's class.
In
I was in Rodney's class.
Okay,
sorry.
fine.
Sorry.
So, Esther, you were in Rodney's class. What kind of things did you get out of that class? What was talked about in there?
It was kind of jumping around a little bit, but he really talked about the concept of personhood, and how personhood, or the idea of a personhood, it doesn't solely belong to humans. All humans are persons, but not all persons are human. And he related that to the Trinity, and how because we can go to people and we can try and explain the Trinity, but they're like, whoa, I got a problem with this. Like, 3 persons in one, that doesn't make sense. So he kind of he broke it down and made it more made it more simple to explain to other people. So yeah, just that idea of a personhood and how we are different than things like animals, and it's not just naturalism or scientism. There's more to it. You can't explain love, you can't explain joy with the physical world. There's more to it, and us saying that science is the only way to explain anything isn't right, no matter who you are. So yeah.
This is my second time coming to this conference. This conference was amazing again. I've learned a lot for these past 2 years. This year that we went over the logic of the 4 laws of logic, and it was interesting to open up and find out more about what logic is and just different things. It was just great to have someone that knows what they're talking about be able to instruct me in different things.